Pass those down that way. They're
Sure.
closed session minutes. Progressively gets worse. What did I say about mine? Board of Education meeting to order at 7:00 p.m. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Walden, would you do roll call, please?
Ms. Frederickson. Here. Mr. Battani. Here. Ms. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Wade. Here. Mr. St. Ange. Here. Mr. Walton here. Mrs. Edwards.
Here. Are there any additions or deletions to our agenda? There are none. Perfect. That brings us to communications and reader recognition.
And I'm going to turn it over here to Mrs. Royster. We have our choir to perform for us tonight. So Mrs. Royster, can I turn it over to you? Sure.
Good evening. I'm Susie Royster, the vocal music director here at Almont Schools. This year in the high school vocal music program, we were very excited to welcome the 8th graders here. They joined together with the 9th graders to form our brand new junior varsity choir. They sing together every day in their own class, but sing in performances together with the varsity singers. Varsity Singers is a combination of 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. When both choirs come together to perform, we create a very powerful, polished, and refined sound. Tonight, we only have a handful of students here with us, but last week when we all sang at Choral Festival and everyone was healthy and in attendance, we were able to give the adjudicators that polished sound we always strive for. Because of that, our middle school and high school choirs received superior ratings and comments in not only our performances, but in sight singing. Now, if any of you ever sang in choirs in your school and remember sight singing, it is an extremely difficult task to learn and complete. But these kids practiced very hard for months, and that diligence and perseverance paid off last week. The varsity singers in junior varsity choir make it a point to not only sing in 4 concerts here in our school every school year, but we get outside the school to sing for our community, such as the holiday parade. We go and sing for our senior citizens, and we even get over to OP and sing for our little ones. Even our bus drivers love taking us on field trips because they have nothing but our choir singing the entire trip both ways, and they just love it. Earlier this year, we had the opportunity to take our entire high school music department and many, many parents to go on a fabulous day trip to the Detroit Opera Theater to enjoy the musical Wicked. And we certainly did enjoy it. These students were able to witness professional musicians, singers, and dancers like they have never seen, and this was live, of course. Perhaps it's something they may aspire to become someday. We never know. That's why we need to continue to give these students these opportunities. And we want to thank you for helping us make these opportunities and dreams happen. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for these opportunities to allow us and help us in our vocal music program. We certainly appreciate all of it. And now, may I present our varsity singers and our junior varsity choir.
thank you so much for being here
Thank you
tonight.
so
We really appreciate it. Students, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here, taking the time. Congratulations too on your performances through festival and everything. You're doing a magnificent job. Thank you very much.
Should we have them get a picture?
Yes, we can do. Would you mind if they came up on stage to get a picture real
Oh,
quick?
of course.
You guys don't mind?
Thank you, Mrs. Royster. All right, now we have student council, their update.
Hello. Is this on? Yes, it is. So the Raider News for March 2024 AHS Student Council Report. We are going to be having a 5K run/walk. The AP Government class is sponsoring a charity 5K run/walk on Saturday, May 4th at the high school. All proceeds will support the Janice Wren Scholarship. Come join the community for a morning jog or walk. All participants will receive a commemorative shirt or other merchandise. Registration is available online or with traditional paper forms that are in the office. If you have any questions, please ask Mr. Finn. In the counseling department, Ms. Norad presented to 9th, 10th, and 11th graders on class schedules for the next year. She has been busy outside all week, outside the cafeteria, to answer any questions the students may have. National Honor Society. NHS ran a blood drive March 8th, which had a great turnout with 28 donors, which each donor donating a pint. There was a whopping 3.5 gallons donated. The Special Olympics. Almont Raiders traveled to North Branch High School on Wednesday, March 13th to showcase their basketball talents. The Lynx program went along for support and encouragement. Art Department. The Almont High School recently participated in the first ever BWAC Art Expo held at Yale High School. There was an opening reception held on March 11th with music and refreshments to celebrate the amazing talent. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. That brings us to our first questions and comments to the audience. A reminder that public participation shall be permitted as indicated on the order of business or at the discretion of the presiding officer. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and will be requested to preface their comments by providing their name, address, and group affiliation, if and when appropriate. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3-minute duration. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic unless all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. Participants shall direct all comments to the board and not to staff or other participants. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. Please see the procedural guidelines for the community packet for a full description. The guidelines are provided on our website, regular board meetings, or by contacting the office of the superintendent. Are there any audience questions and comments pertaining to the agenda tonight? No? Okay. Any questions or comments from the board before we proceed? All right. Yes, Mr. Walden.
I move the Board of Education approve the consent agenda. A, approval of the minutes from the February 26, 2024 regular meeting. B, approval of the minutes from the February 26, 2024 closed session. C, approval of the minutes from the March 11, 2024 MASB workshop. And D, approval of the minutes from the March 12, 2024 work session.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion on the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That brings us to our bills payable and financial reports.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Wade?
I move the Board of Education approve the bills payable and the financial reports as proposed by administration and reviewed by the Finance Committee as follows. February 16th, 2024 to March 8th, 2024. General fund total, $348,744.07. School lunch fund, $3,442.44. Student activity fund, $10,267.51. 2014 sinking fund, $5,905.86. Subtotal, $367,502.10. ACH wire transactions, payroll, February 29th, $554,454.00. Edu staff, $13,596.94. Health equity, HSA, $6,590.72. Credit card, DMO, $11,311.98. Health insurance, $116,074.24. Arbiter pay, $10,000.00. Total funds spent, $1,079,529.98. Check numbers as listed below.
Support. Motion and support. Is there any discussion on our bills payable and financial reports? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? If you haven't already, please take a moment to look over the Orchard Primary, Middle School, High School, and athletic funds and the student activity account reports. That brings us into our superintendent's report. Okay. Starting with Orchard Primary. This is March's reading month, so lots of mystery and great readers out there, including myself. I was able to get out to 14 classrooms last week. I just want to thank Mr. Bruno, the principal, and all the teachers who welcomed me into their classroom. It definitely was definitely a highlight of the school year. We also, at OP, they're hosting and doing themes on Fridays, such as wearing readable hats, dressing as a book character, and PJ Day. Also, students are participating in Jimmy John's Field Reading Challenge to redeem reading minutes for baseball tickets on May 24th. Also starting to ramp up efforts to get the word out for kindergarten testing on April 17th and April 18th. There's been posts on Facebook, also utilizing our new website, so please check that out, and also sharing in the newspaper twice and reaching out to our preschool families. So please get the word out to anyone who might have an upcoming kindergartner. Also, 3 teachers have been chosen for the Model Library Fund Grant through the Lapeer County Community Foundation and 4 County. So 3 teachers are going to be working with the literacy coach, Mrs. Schulte, to meet the grant training requirements and find books that are age and community appropriate, while also giving the students access to exciting new books. Upcoming events, the science fair and reading event is set for Thursday, March 21st from 5 to 7 o'clock p.m. And the spring concert is coming up on April 16th in the high school auditorium. First grade will be at 6 o'clock and second grade will be at 7 o'clock. For the middle school, again, March's reading month is in full swing. A shout out to Mrs. Kuhn for all of her efforts and her awesome job facilitating the school-wide activities. There's a March Madness for staff appreciation right now. It's basketball-themed treats and activities for the staff throughout the month of March. Jim Basketball Jones held 2 awesome assemblies this afternoon. This was just today. That went very well. And the AMS is holding a Parent Pulse Night for 4th through 7th grade parents this Thursday, March 21st at 6 p.m. in the Media Center.
The middle school has begun planning for Field Day, which will be held on Tuesday, June 4th, and Rock Shop and Raffle is scheduled for Friday, April 19th. The high school, we have a few updates here. I don't want to repeat student councils, but we have the BWAC luncheon to be held on April 18th, honoring our top 5 academic students and 2 student athletes. We have Andrea Frederick, Grace Laura, Cameron Bordeaux, Montserrat Cornell, and Alyssa Twombly. And I believe we have a couple in the audience here. Is that correct? You want me to turn this over to you, Mr. Shiflett, for a quick second? I'm just, as it's appropriate to the agenda, go ahead.
Yeah, Andrew, come up and introduce yourself and tell them what some of your plans are.
Hi, I'm Andrea Frederick. Nice to see all of you. So I'm not for sure yet, but I'm planning on going to University of Michigan to study mathematics, and then I plan to go to law school after that. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I really appreciate being able to go to the BWAC luncheon. Is it next month?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Andrea.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alyssa Twombly. My plans for after high school, I will be attending Saginaw Valley State University and I'll be studying nursing. The program usually takes in total 4.5 years of college to complete, and I am going to take 3.5 years to complete the program, and I'm trying to shorten my time because I would like to go for my master's degree after my bachelor's degree. And I want to be a nurse practitioner in the future who specializes in acute care. And thank you so much for this opportunity and for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Alyssa.
you.
Congratulations to
Congratulations.
you.
We have 3 other students that were nominated for the BWAC Academic All-Conference Team, and Grace Laura plans to attend Michigan Tech and major in computer engineering. Cameron Bordeaux plans to attend Northwood and major in business, and he's at Northwood tonight. And he took as a guest Mrs. Ebley to attend with him as someone who was instrumental in his success at Almont High School.
That's
So we
amazing.
think that's fantastic. And Montserrat Cornell plans to attend the University of Michigan and major in biology and health sciences, and she's at her birthday dinner tonight, so didn't want to miss
We'll
that.
forgive her. Yeah.
And then 2 athletes named were Lydia Lecabera and Gordon Schurig for the student athletes for the BWAC. So we'll get to attend that as well. So
Okay, that's great.
do you want to finish up
Thank you.
for me, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Shiflett.
all
You're
right.
on a roll. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah, scheduling is on track to be completed in April by Mrs. Norad. She's been instrumental this year. I just can't. It's been such a blessing to have her, and she's just really diligent in her pursuit of a perfect schedule. And we know how difficult that is in meeting the needs of our students and staff. She's been, as mentioned before by the student council, she's been in the hallway on a table on wheels the last 2 weeks during scheduling, during lunches, and just really accessible to kids. And they're just stopping in and getting a lot of questions taken care of right away. And she's just really putting herself in front of the students, which is fantastic. And she's out there for the teachers, for their feedback as well. This last week we had fire and tornado drills, and as with all our drills, we try to debrief soon after and look for improvements, place we can fix some things. Our high school staff is coming up on some testing, and they're all doing some training this week on their own to be prepared to proctor those exams. Our M-STEP for 11th graders will be held on April 16th. Our April 10th and 11th will be our PSATs and SATs. The 8th grades recently visited Mott Community College for Career Day, and from what I understand, they did very well. The counselors that went with and the teachers went with said their behavior was just so much better than Lapeer, which is wonderful to hear. And so I think that's always great to hear back, feedback from them. Spring break's just around the corner. Senior breakfast is scheduled for April 19th, and the National Honor Society induction ceremony will be Wednesday, April 24th. We have Students of the Month for the month of March. 12th grade is Cole Walton, 11th grade Hannah Busen, 10th grade Nick Morfino, 9th grade Lucy Klasa, and 8th grade Liam Wirtz. So these come from teacher recommendations, and it's always fun to get those a month ahead of time and just watch how those kids interact with others in the lunchroom, and you just see the great, I don't know, positivity that they all put off on other students. So it's a fun thing to participate in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shiflett. Appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Just a couple other announcements from my report. Today, we recognize Bus Driver Appreciation. So in recognition of Bus Driver Appreciation Day, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our Transportation Director, Helen Hackey, and her team for their dedication and care to keep our students safe to and from school on a daily basis. I also want to thank the bus drivers for starting our Students' Day with a smile that sometimes makes the difference between a good or a bad day at school. And lastly, a thank you, a shout out to the owners, Joe and Marina at Brunch at Joe's, for working with us to provide an amazing breakfast for our crew at the bus garage this morning. So thank you for that. We appreciate all the service, and a shout out to Dean Transportation. They're amazing to work with. I also wanted to just share a quick update regarding post-bond community forums. I held an ACS, Almont Community Schools post-bond community forum last Wednesday on March 13th in the High School Media Center in an attempt to solicit immediate feedback from our community members regarding the results of the bond proposal on February 27th. There were approximately 25 people in attendance, and per the community's feedback, Christian Contarino, our CM for Monticelli, has been working tirelessly ever since with me to review and revise the bond work list. It's been really nonstop from last Wednesday up until now. With that being said, I'll also be holding a second post-bond community forum on Wednesday, March 20th at 6 p.m., again in the High School Media Center. At this time, I've invited approximately 50 community members and/or staff members to attend the next meeting. Ron Selly, French, and I are looking forward to hearing additional feedback on a revised work list to bring to the Board of Education for approval. I will continue to provide updates and communicate as much as possible as we attempt to put another school bond proposal together for 2024. On that note, just wanted to also put it out there to everyone regarding the sinking fund. I wanted to share that I'll be working together with our maintenance director, Jason Frederick, to review and analyze the district's needs so we may utilize sinking fund dollars. We will be recommending a plan and scheduling to address what needs to be fixed, repaired, and or replaced around the district. I look forward to providing an update to the Board of Education and the community within the next month. I appreciate the feedback that I have received and I will act upon it. So thank you.
Okay, now we have our budget amendment.
The Board of Education adopts the operating budgets for the school district. Adjustments in the budget are to be presented to the board for approval. The board must adopt a budget which complies with Michigan law. The Board of Education adopted a preliminary budget in June 2023 for the 2023-2024 school year. Adjustments to the budget are necessary as events occur throughout the school year which alter both revenue and expenditure budget categories. In the review area, we show an overall increase of $1,147,883. In the expenditure area, we have an increase of $691,061. The revision was reviewed with members of the Finance Committee. General fund revenues are now projected to be $18,413,751. General fund expenditures are now projected to be $18,445,790, leaving expenditures exceeding revenues by $32,038. The general fund balance at the end of the year is expected to be $2,198,762. Discussed and recommended by committee 3-0. The revised budget should be adopted as it is more accurately reflects our expectations for year-end revenues and expenditures.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Wade.
I move the Board of Education adopt the amended general fund budget for the 2023 through 2024 school year with revenues totaling $18,413,751 and expenditures totaling $18,445,790. Copy of adjustment to be marked Roman numeral 10, B1, and attached to the official minutes.
Support. Motion and support. Is there any discussion on the budget amendment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Personnel and resignations.
The Board of Education may agree to a resignation or retirement at any time after replacement, if necessary, suitable to the school administration, and the board is obtained, provided that the circumstances underlying the resignation or retirement are valid in the opinion of the board and warrant a search for replacement. Mrs. Samtree Labashan has decided to resign due to family reasons. Mrs. Vanessa Ruiz has resigned for personal reasons. Discussed, recommended by committee 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards?
Yes, Mr. Batani.
I move the Board of Education approve resignations of Samtree Balbashan and Vanessa Ruiz.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And new hires.
The Board of Education approves all new personnel. Ms. Lewis is pleased to recommend Mr. Craig Gleason for the position of the Resource Room Paraprofessional at Almont Middle School. Mr. Gleason comes to us with a State of Michigan teaching certification with endorsements in mathematics and social science and a background in teaching in special education. Discussed by Personnel Committee, recommended 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards?
Yes, Mr. Batani.
I move that Board of Education approve Craig Gleason, Resource Room Parapro at Almont Middle School.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Now we're into policy and school of choice.
The Board of Education may accept non-resident students into our schools. With the overcrowding in some of the grades, it has been deemed appropriate to limit our school of choice students in some grades. For 2024-2025, we will limit these grades. Young fives, we have limited, kindergarten limited, first grade closed, second grade closed, third grade closed, fourth grade closed, fifth grade limited. These totals represent the number of students in each grade, including SOC. Number of exact spots for school of choice will be determined at the end of May. The 30-day school of choice window for the cap grades will open in June. At the end of the 30 days, there will be a lottery, and if we have more students than spaces, those students will be put on a waiting list. Priority will be given to students that currently have siblings attending the Almont Community Schools and those students that attended Almont Preschool in 2023-2024. Discussed and recommended by committee 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards?
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education limits the number of school of choice students in grades young 5 through 5th grade as listed above.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Second read of policies 3120, 3130, 3132, 3139, and 3140. The board adopts bylaws and policies for organization and operation of the board and district. Bylaws and policies may be adopted, amended, and repealed at any meeting of the board, provided the proposed adoption, amendment, or repeal shall have been proposed at a previous board meeting, and once proposed, shall have remained on the agenda of each succeeding board meeting until approved or rejected by law 0131.1. The Board of Education will review policies as it becomes necessary. This is the second read of the policies listed below. Policies 3120, 3130, 3132, 3139, 3140 have been reviewed and are ready for approval.
Mrs. Edwards?
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education approve the Neola provided updates to policies 3120, 3130, 3132, 3139, and 3140.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Last up is curriculum and approval of science pilots.
No course of study shall be taught in the schools unless it has been adopted by the board. Policy 20. Almont High School would like to adopt the current science pilots as a new program for the high school science curriculum. Discussed and recommended by committee 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards,
Yes, Ms. Fred?
I move that the Board of Education approve the adoption of the current science pilots as the new program for the science curriculum at Almont High School.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Can I just make a quick comment?
Yeah.
I just an extension to a thank you to the Kerner family for their generous donation to make this purchase of our science program possible for Almont High School. So thank you so much. Yes, thank you. It's incredible what we've been able to do because of that.
This is our second and final questions and comments from the audience. All the public participation guidelines still apply. Are there any questions and comments? No? Any questions or comments from the Board of Education? I know I've already said this, but if you haven't been in the OP yet for March's Reading Month, it is magical. I mean, you were there.
Yeah,
It's
they really
it's
have
so
done a
cool
great job.
inside.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. It's like a
And-
little mini children's museum going through that hall.
Yes.
And I mean, they did a really
Yes.
great job.
And the
They
middle
really did.
school door decorating
Yeah.
contest was incredible as well.
Amazing.
I love to see all their
March's
creativity.
Reading Month has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This month
Okay, any future agenda items?
at this time. Anybody else? Oh, I'm sorry.
Mrs. Edwards,
Yes.
just looking back through last March, we approved looping at the
Oh.
OP.
Good call.
Just at some point, if we have an update on how that's going.
Miss LaPonce and Miss Cross.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anything else?
Ms. Edwards,
Yes, Mr. Walden.
I move that we adjourn the March 18th, 2024 regular meeting, 7:38 PM.
Motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.